Good evening. Good evening. It's so good to have everyone here. This is our first Daughters of Destiny Development Thursday. We will be coming on every first Thursday of the month, bringing you information. Like tonight, we have an insurance agent, someone that's passionate about making sure that you are set for life even after death. And so I'm excited. I want you to share. I want you to let people on. Good morning, good evening, Overseer Grace Crump. We're excited to have you on for Monday Morning Motivation. I see people are jumping on YouTube. And tonight, I'm excited about the guest because she's my niece. And her name is Ashley Lawrence, and she is an insurance agent, and she does more than that. And so I am so grateful tonight because this topic even speaks to me after being retired and having insurance on my job. Now I find myself, later in my 60s, and with some health challenging challenges. And sometimes you want to know, hey, can I even afford life insurance? So I pray that this blesses you. I pray that it will encourage you and all of us to do what is right. Will you welcome my niece Ashley Lawrence tonight? Hello.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ashley. Nice to meet everyone. Nice to see everyone. Glad to get on here to go over a lot of information. It's very, very useful and beneficial.
Yes, I'm excited to have you on. And I see you show up every day. You're whether on TikTok or Facebook, just really giving people information, like dropping that knowledge so we can make sure that our families are set. And having lost a husband before that did not have insurance, I know what it feels like to try to, after the fact, get everything together to make sure that they are put away respectfully and also in a way that you can afford to live afterwards. So thank you so much for coming on. Let me see, we have some comments on
You're
YouTube.
welcome.
Jamila, um, good evening, Chef Marlene. Good evening to my husband, Narone. You guys are on. And Sharon, God bless you. So people are on, and what we want this to be very interactive, meaning she's going to give us some information. If you have some questions, comments, anything, please put it in the chat, and she is willing to answer anything, and also to set up a private consultation for you if you need it. Okay. Good evening, Evangelist Susie Newell. God bless you. So the first question I want to know, because I know what you went to school for, I know what you do, and it's like all of a sudden this girl is like you're in it. So what inspired you to become an insurance agent?
So my main inspiration was my family. Just the fact that I've been a single mom for years on end, having to do everything by myself and knowing that I did not want my kids to struggle. Also seeing a lot of people in our community have to turn to a GoFundMe or a fish fry when that time came, but also watching people prioritize putting tons of money into going on to a prom, or vacation and so many other things. And it's like, but when that time hits, you don't have it and you have to turn to a fundraiser. So it's like I wanted to be that change in our community to educate people and let people know that there's life insurance out there that you can not only use for death, but you can also use while you're living.
Oh, that's awesome. So thank you for that because I know in our community, the community of color, many times we're just not prepared.
Mm-hmm.
We are not prepared, and it's such a strain on those that are left behind because you're in the midst of grieving, and then you're also in the midst of planning, and the grief process can even take longer because then you're mad because now all of a sudden
Yep.
you got to figure it out, and it's like why did you leave me this way, right? Well, what made you passionate about helping your community protect not just like you said the deaf, but also their future?
Um, because I feel like it's important. I feel like in our community, in the Black community, we don't learn about stuff like this in school at all. They teach everybody else, but they don't teach us. So I'm like, if I can be that voice of change, if I can be that voice of reason, then I'm going to do that. I also feel like there's a calling on my life to help people. Like you said, I went to school for dental and did that for 14 years. And now I'm a life insurance agent. So it's like I'm still helping people, but I feel like helping people as a life insurance agent is way more beneficial because like you said, we got to deal with the grief. We got to deal with being mad about coming up with the money for life insurance. I don't know, I just feel like I'm very very passionate for helping people.
Yeah.
That is a major passion of mine.
Yeah. And you can see it. Like I said, you show up and you be dropping knowledge. And once you find that niche, that thing that you feel like you've been called to, it's so easy
Hmm.
to flow in it. And so thank you so much. So I know there are all types of life insurance policies. People don't know which one to get. So I want to ask you, what is the difference between like term life and whole life?
Okay, so there's term life and there's whole life, but then there's also something called final expense. So term life is it expires after X amount of years, which means it could either expire after 10, 15, 20, or 30 years. After your term life policy expires, you do have to get another policy. But the only thing is you're either 10 years older or you're 30 years older, which then the price increases because your age increases and then you may have health issues. Um, but if you start with a term policy, you can upgrade to a whole life policy. If you start with a whole life policy, you cannot downgrade to a term policy. That's the a major difference. Also, with term life, you can get way more life insurance for a more affordable rate. I'll give an example. I was able to give a friend of mine $1 million policy. She was in her early 30s. Her $1 million term policy was $44.44. But then a whole life policy is tied to the stock market. There's whole life and then there's IUL, which is Index Universal Life. Those are tied to the stock market. So when you're putting your money into a more permanent policy like the whole life or an IUL, it accrues compound interest. So compound interest basically grows the money that you're paying every month so that people are able to take out money to retire, buy a house, buy a car, or even go on vacation, or they can do whatever they want with it. And it's completely tax free. Only thing is, you get less life insurance and it costs more. It costs more because there's a savings account in it to give people that luxury to be able to take from that life insurance policy. I'll give an example on that one. For instance, a friend of mine, she has a $500,000 life insurance policy in IUL, Index Universal Life. She's paying $200 per month. She's in her early 30s as well. And then there's final expense. Final expense, so term starts at the age of 18 and goes up. IUL starts at the age of 0 and goes up. Final expense starts at the age of 40 and up. Final expense, there is a maximum that a person can get depending on their health issues. It'll either be 20,000 or 50,000. Um, it the price differs. But the good thing about a final expense policy for older people is it'll pay your beneficiary out between 24 to 48 hours. And there's no medical exams whatsoever. So that's the good thing about so many different life insurance policies. And There's different options for different people.
Yeah, that is so awesome. Thank you for that final expense one because so many people think because of different health issues, they cannot get a policy. And if they do, it's going to cost them so much money. So that was great. I know I'll be contacting you for that one, for both of me and Narone for that one. So that is
Okay.
great. Um, so when you think about, like you said, um, term and whole, they may start at different ages, but it's all the way up. When you think about a family, whether you're single, whether you're just single and married, or single with children, single married with children, whatever state that you find yourself in, how much life insurance should an average family really need? To
So it all depends. It depends on if the person is a homeowner or not. It depends on if the person or people have debt. And I say that because a lot of people don't know that there's life insurance policies out there that will pay off your house so that your family can still stay in that house. So I could say anywhere from $100,000 and up.
okay,
If the person does not have any mortgage, if the person does not have any debt and they just want to leave a good amount to their family, I would start at 100,000. But when they have a mortgage and so many other things, and there's other people that they have to think about, I would definitely say at least start at 300,000, depending on the different factors that I just named, especially the mortgage, because a lot of people fight over a house when someone passes away. And
yeah,
it's sad. It's so sad, but people fight over houses when someone passes away. And it's like if you have a life insurance policy that's structured the right way and you're able to tell your beneficiary, hey, I have you on my policy, so I want you to pay my house off when I'm not here anymore, so my kids can stay in this house, they'll be good to go. And then they can pass it down. That's how you create that generational wealth as well.
okay, that's good. I know I have some questions, but you've already answered so many of them already. So, what should someone ask before purchasing the policy? Because everyone that is selling insurance is not dropping the knowledge that you need. Sometimes they're just giving you what they think they will benefit most of off of. But speaking with you tonight, like what type of insurance should every what questions should we ask before purchasing a policy? What are some?
Um, so I think people should really zone in on their personal health issues. Um, as far as like, well, hey, I have diabetes. Do you think I can even qualify for life insurance? Um, or or how much, like what's the total that they should get as far as life insurance? I'll say a lot of people, I'll say a lot of agents that I have come across, like you said, just sells the person life insurance, not knowing a more in-depth background of that person. So there I feel like they really, really should zone in on that. Also, they should not only ask for themselves, but their family as well. Doesn't matter if they have a newborn or anything like that, because sadly, death happens with newborns as well. So a lot of people are just like, oh, I just want life insurance for myself to pass down to my kids, but then not thinking other people have lives as well. And then you don't want to struggle if something were to happen to your other family members. Um, what else can I say? I think that's all I can think about right
Yeah.
now for that one.
So I have so many comments as far as people saying that they have never heard of final expense.
Yeah, because there's a lot
Never.
of agents. Like I've sat down with so many people, people's grandparents, people's aunties, uncles, and they're like, well, I had life insurance, but it was through my job. But now that I'm not there anymore, I don't have life insurance. Or the agent that I talked to said that I can only get term, or I can only get this kind, I can only get that kind. So there's different companies that only sell certain life insurance policies. And then there's other companies that sell a wide variety of life insurance. But the final expense is really, really good for even if people have health conditions, certain health conditions, um, to give to their aunties, their uncles, their grandparents, their parents. Um, yeah, the agents don't disclose everything that people should be getting or what they're paying for, because there's a lot in a fine print that a lot of people don't know about in these life insurance
Yeah.
policies.
Yeah. So I have a great question here. Somebody asked this. What are the restrictions for final expense policy?
So, restrictions for final expense, and I'll say restrictions for a whole lot of policies, are current severe health issues. If a person currently has cancer, um, kidney disease, and they're on dialysis, or a more recent history of like a stroke or a brain aneurysm or a heart attack, stuff like that, all the major health issues, those are all restrictions. Also, um, if you have diabetes and your A1C is a 9 or above, major restriction as well.
Okay, so for one, I thought you said there was no um like you don't have
No
to
health, no
pay a
health.
physical right.
Yeah.
So
So
how
you,
do they what do they do? They collect your health records or something?
yes. So
Okay.
there are no physical exams for final expense. With the other ones, either term, whole life, IUL, there could be a possibility for a physical. But with final expense, there's no physical exams. But on the application, it does ask if you have X, Y, and Z. If any of those questions are a yes, it's a automatic denial.
Okay. All right. So let me see. Elder, Tia, did that answer your question, or do you guys? I do have somebody that's saying that they will probably need your contact information
Okay.
because the thing is, so I'm a diabetic and I don't think my numbers are over 9. So when I check that, they probably look at my latest A1C, or I would need to go get a current A1C, or because unfortunately, now when you said dialysis, are you talking about end stage or just dialysis period? Because
Dialysis,
I know there
period.
is okay, because I know there is end stage renal disease, and then okay, well that's
Yeah.
good to know.
Dialysis, period. Yep.
I think this is good. I think some people definitely will want to reach out to you concerning their situation, to see if that's something because, like I said, I know I need it, and so I'm just going to go for it. And if I'm denied, so what happens, or what would you suggest when people are denied? Is there another route we could go? To yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So, the good thing about me, I'm an independent agent, so I'm partnered with more than one company. So I have had people that were denied because of, I'll say, like a little boy. He was age 6. He had autism. Well, has autism. He was denied with one company, but I was able to shop around with other companies and let them know. Like, I'm able to call around to other companies and say, hey, this person has X, Y, and Z. Their height and weight is X, Y, and Z. If they smoke tobacco or not, I have to let them know that. And then they'll let me know if this person is a possible candidate for that specific company. If they say no, I call around to the next one. I just keep calling around. And if I just get no across the board, then I would offer an annuity. Sorry, my window's open. I don't know if you can hear that. But
No.
I would
Okay.
offer an annuity, and it doesn't have all of the benefits of life insurance, but it does give that death benefit. So when the person passes, their beneficiary will be able to get a payout from their annuity to still cover those funeral expenses.
Okay. Um. So tell us about annuities then. A little bit. I know that's not what we're more or less talking about tonight, but since you do both, let's just talk about that. What is that? And you know.
So an annuity is just like, excuse me, a retirement account. A lot of people, like, you can start even at the age of teenage years. Um, so with annuities, it's basically it's tied to the stock market, just like the 401k. What's the other ones that? What's the other ones? I don't know. I can't think. But it's tied to the stock market. So like, for example, when you have a 401k and the market is doing well, your money's doing well. Either you're contributing to it or not, your money is still doing well. But when the market drops, you're losing money, a lot of money sometimes. But with an
Okay.
annuity, when the market is up, your money is up compared to the 401k. When the stock market drops, your money just stays at a standstill until the stock market goes back up, and then your money will start growing again.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry to keep looking to the
It's
questions are coming
fine.
in. Okay.
It's
The
fine.
questions are coming in. So
It's
one of
fine.
the questions I see is this is from Uncle Narone. She said, are the insurance laws different from state to state for final expense policies?
Yes. So some companies do not cover certain states. What states? I don't know right offhand. I would have to look, and that would be more of like a one-on-one with the consultation because it depends on the state. Um, but yes, it does vary state to state. As far as the health questions, that is around the board, all states.
Okay. All right. And so what particular companies are you associated with? You said that you call around and ask, to see where you can actually fit the person, or if somebody say
Mhm.
no, you just keep calling.
Yes, so I am with Nationwide, Liberty Mutual, Lincoln Financial, Mutual of Omaha, National Life Group, Foresters, Anaco. And just a little background, Anaco is the company that paid out who was it? Bonnie and Clyde. And Bonnie and Clyde, because they were committing a crime when they passed, life insurance laws changed so that now if you're committing a crime when you pass, they're not going to pay you out at all.
Okay.
Um, what other ones? What other one? John Hancock. Um, and there's others, but those are the main ones that I know offhand.
So here's a good question. I'm gonna put up on the screen. Whole life insurance policy. What happens to the policy after 20, 30 years? For instance, the money paid, do you lose it or will you receive a payoff? Exactly how does it work?
Okay, so with the whole life policy, after paying into the policy for 20 to 30 years, you can take money from that policy. Remember I said earlier in the Zoom call, you can save for your retirement, you can take money out to go on vacation, you can buy a house with it, you can buy a car with it, you can do whatever you want with it and it's tax free. But when you take from a whole life policy, it decreases your death benefit. So if you have $100,000 worth of life insurance and you take away 50,000, when that time comes that you pass, your beneficiary will get 50,000. And you do not have to pay the money back, but if you do, then your beneficiary will get more in the end.
Okay. All right, that's good. That's good.
Yes,
Some
I
good
also want
questions.
to
Uh
throw out there,
huh.
so life insurance now, like I know I talked on the fact that you can buy a house, you can buy a car, et cetera, et cetera. But there is in the different types of life insurance policies now, there's basically a GoFundMe in your life insurance already. So, what I mean by that is, God forbid you were to get any type of terminal illness, critical injury, or chronic illness. Your life insurance will pay you out a portion of your policy to cover your medical bills, your regular bills, and still keep food on the table. It's tax free. You don't have to pay it back. I'll give an example. I had a client, age, I think he was like 68 at the time. Um, Late last year or earlier this year, one of the two. And he had a stroke. His wife reached out to me and said, "Hey, I remember he got life insurance." So what I did was I called, I had to get the information from the client's wife, like all the documentation proving that he had a stroke. So I called his life insurance company, submitted the documentation on their behalf. Now you can submit your own documentation as well, but I did it on their behalf. And he was able to get a check for $168,000 to cover those medical bills while he was still in the hospital, and to pay his regular bills. And I also had another client who got a check for $230,000 because she was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Wow.
So it's very beneficial. It's life
Mhm.
insurance for a reason. It doesn't say death insurance. It says life insurance. So we got to start using
And
it while we're living.
but you know what? That is good because that's all we think about it as to leave something for those that's left behind and not so much to live.
Right.
So so if someone that's listening today and doesn't know where to start, what should they do first?
Reach out to me.
Contact
Duh.
Ashley. Right. Right, right. Like let me just answer that question. Reach out to Ashley. And
Yes.
so in saying that, how do we contact you?
So I'm on all social media platforms, but I want to give my number because me trying to look for my social media names is going to be a bit much. But my phone number is 484-862-2552, and my email address is A for Ashley, my last name Lawrence, LAWREN, as in Nancy, CE, life, at gmail.com.
All right, say that again. So it's A Lawrence at life
A Lawrence dot period.
dot life. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
at Gmail. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm just putting that information in
Okay.
our private link and not on YouTube. They can get it off of YouTube themselves.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. So this was really good. Any more questions, guys? This was really good.
Yes.
Oh, Narone
Excellent.
said you're hired, Ashley. So
Thank you.
all
Thank you.
right, Narone, call Ashley and make sure you leave your wife something. No, no. So please reach out to her. I'm telling you, just to hear um, everything, because some of us, and I know for myself, I never thought about life insurance for life. I'm always thinking about, having something to for my final expenses. And what about if everything is like no, 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 and you talked about annuity. Well, what about if somebody don't want to go there? Have you ever heard about like a burial account where you go?
It muted at the end. Can you say that
Oh, I'm
again?
sorry. Um, a burial account where you can get it at your bank.
I don't know too much about that, and I don't want to give the
Okay,
wrong answer.
okay. All right. I need to probably undo my Bluetooth because it's that's probably why it's going in and out now. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, just talk to the people. Let them know.
Okay. All right. So I did want to talk on life insurance through the job a little more. A lot of people say, "Oh no, I don't want life insurance outside of my job because I already have it through my job." A lot of employers do not tell their employees that when they leave their job, if they get fired, if they quit, if they retire, you cannot take that life insurance with you. So now you're back at square one. It's always best to own your own policy because you can do whatever you want with it. You can change your beneficiaries. It's so many different things that you can do when you own your own policy. Also, um, a lot of employers also do not tell their employees that when they have life insurance through their job, it's in the fine print that if you pass outside of the premises, they're not going to pay out their beneficiary at all. And what are the chances that a person is going to pass at work? So it's like, what's the point of even having the life insurance through your job? So that is one main reason that I personally will not ever get life insurance through a job again because it's like it's just another way of taking money out of your check for them to keep. And they're going to keep it because they're going to keep it because it's like it's just another way of taking money out of your check.
Okay, I don't know. We lost Ashley. I don't know what happened, but hopefully she'll come back in. If not, I see Chef Mar, you asked the question, what state is she's if you know that she's licensed in. So again, I would try to get that information back to you again. I don't know what happened. We lost her, and so, but we thank God for the time that we had with her. And hopefully, if you have any questions, send them over to me, inbox me some of your questions if you think about it, or if you need her contact information again, please reach out to me. Thank you for joining our first Thursday of Destiny Development Thursday. Next month, we're going to have a realtor on to say, hey, listen, when is the best to sell? How to prepare your house. If you're looking to buy a house, 55 and older community, just trying to bring some knowledge in the platform where we can get information out to you, for people of God. So we thank you so much. Ashley is back.
Sorry, I was getting a phone call, my daughter's
Oh,
school
it's
call, and
okay.
I tried to hurry up and
We're like,
exit
I don't
out.
know what happened, but
I'm
thank
sorry.
you, Ashley. Thank you so much for being our first guest on
You're
our Destiny
welcome.
Development Thursday. I appreciate you and I thank you. And I just pray that even those that listen to the replay, but let me ask you this. Somebody wanted to know, what states are you licensed in?
All
Or you could do any state.
correct. Yes.
Okay.
All 50 states.
Y'all heard it here. Every state, call Ashley. She's ready to help you. She's ready to help you, ready to help your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren. You're never too young to get insurance, and you're never too old to think about leaving a legacy and a heritage, and making sure that your final expenses are paid. And so, like I said, when I first started, I'm recently retired and I had a great policy at my job, but never thought about after I retired. So yes, I dropped the ball there. And I don't know, actually, who those people are that said you got to pass right. I said that's a bootleg policy. I said that's a bootleg policy. You got to die. Listen, just bring me and drop me on the curb of the place. Then I don't know because you got to pay me. But
Right.
thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Thank you again, Ashley. I pray that you get many inquiries so your business can continue to grow and flourish. I love your passion. I love your purpose. And thank you for looking out for your community. And I appreciate you.
You're
Thank you guys
welcome.
so
You're
much.
welcome. Thank you
Some
guys for
people
giving
say
me.
thank you, Ashley. This was so valuable. So we appreciate you. And don't forget, call her, email her, get in contact with her. Follow her on TikTok, Instagram. If you go on my page and you're saying, what is her name again? Ashley Lawrence. If you can't find her on social media, go to if you're a friend of mine, you can look at my friends and find her name and just friend her on Facebook so you can get connected. Thank you again and have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you,
Thank
Ashley.
you.
God
You're
bless.
welcome. Good night, everybody.